Hey, what's up, guys? I thought I would do things a little different today. Before I get started, I'd like to show I got this avatar set. Definitely one that I always wanted, but unfortunately the original version of DFO, the Nexon version, never got to the point where they added that. But they put it in here, so I went ahead and got it. I'm using the +11 Smoldering Hell right now, which is pretty good weapon. I mean, not like the greatest out there, but for my level it's pretty good. I'm happy that I got it to +11 because I've always had terrible luck with the upgrading RNG in this game. I imagine when it comes time to replace this weapon, maybe I'll try for a +12 or something, but I'm going to stay with that. I also got this aura which gives +10 fire damage, so it synergizes really well with this weapon, and I'm going to use it for as long as I can. I am still waiting for the Second Awakening patches and stuff, but I just kind of wanted to prepare now. You know, I've got a full avatar set, I've got the aura, I'm working on the title. I'm looking to get maybe, if not Power Fist +2, then Slow Burn +2. That would give me, I think, about 4 or 5 seconds extra on the Awakening, which will be really good, especially once the Second Awakening comes out and you get the passive that increases the or decreases the cooldown on your first awakenings. Definitely excited for that. What I wanted to talk about today was TGS. As you know, most of the major TGS announcements happened. We may get some smaller stuff coming down the pipeline, but pretty much all the major stuff is already out there. I didn't really see too much that really interested me, to be honest. Neo, that game looks pretty cool. I mean, I'm not really into the Dark Souls types games, but it looks faster and more stylish. I might check it out in the future. They also announced Tokiden 2, which I'm kind of divisive about. I mean, I really love the first 2 Tokiden games, and I'm glad that they're making more, but one of the red flags for me was that they said that it was going to be open world. They have not said, you know, what exactly they mean by open world. Chances are, you know, since it's going to be cross-platform with PS3, PS4, and PS Vita, it's not going to be too ambitious, but what I'm hoping it just means is that there's no more loading screens, which would be a good thing and a bad thing. One of the good things about loading screens in hunting games is it makes it easier to see where someone is, and the loading, you know, the little instances are smaller, so you can actually reach someone faster. One of my issues is that, you know, depending on how they do it, it could end up like most open world games where you spend a lot of time just running around in nothing instead of actually doing something. I really hope that they're able to find a good balance. I don't know, it seems like kind of a risky thing to do. I'm not really too big on open world stuff in games at all. I mean, I have played a couple open world games. I played Crackdown and Saints Row 4. Those were like the only ones I beat to completion. And the original Assassin's Creed, if you remember my videos of me messing around with the guards, that was the only reason I could stand that game. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. Right now, I have it on my radar. They didn't really say anything about Dynasty Warriors 9. They have a big booth there. I saw some pictures of celebrating the series' 15th anniversary, which is pretty cool, but not a single peep from them about Dynasty Warriors 9. Considering that they like quietly announced it ages and ages ago, I'm thinking that they're working really hard on it, and they're actually trying to give the series the revamp it desperately needs. Honestly, after playing stuff like One Piece, it's really hard to go back to the mainline games if you actually like the combat and stuff. I think they really need to change that moving forward, if not just, you know, copy-paste the you know, some of the One Piece conventions, like the universal dash canceling, the dodge offsetting and stuff like that. The more unique characters, you know, that's what, you know, the Western studios are doing with the Batman combat system. You know, they all just kind of copy that verbatim. If anything, you know, maybe they could just copy what their other team already does, and I think that would make it better. I've heard a lot of rumors that maybe it's going to be open world too. Like I said, that's a big red flag for me. I hope that they just stick with the, you know, standard maps, but it's all just kind of hearsay right now. They haven't really said anything other than that A, they're working on it, B, it exists, and C, that they're hoping to revamp the combat. Those are all good things to me. I didn't really see too much else. In terms of what I'll be getting for sure, I'm going to be getting Tokiden, not Tokiden, but Transformers. Tokiden 2 is kind of, it's on my radar, but not something I'm going to go plunk down $60 on the pre-order for at the moment. Mushihime Sama is going to be on Steam sometime this winter. I'm really excited for that. Steam has been getting a lot of really great niche Japanese games lately. It's nice to see that stuff on there. It can be pretty hard to reach that kind of thing. You know, some of the stuff like the cave shmups and the older Tales games and stuff, can be really hard to find. It's nice that they're making them more widely available in a legal format. Tales of Zestiria, I'm not really interested in that game at all, but apparently it's locked at 30 FPS and the internet's just going into a shitstorm about it. I'm not really too surprised, to be honest. They probably tied the game logic to the frame rate. I'm not going to be getting the game at all. I'm really not interested in the game in the slightest. I watched, Omega and my friends play through it. It really doesn't look like something that I would enjoy, let alone plunk down $50 on. As you know, I'm in a pretty rough situation right now. I had to pay about half of the hard drive bill this month, and it really set me back. I'm going to have to pay it another half next month. It's going to be at least $50, if not $60. So between that and Transformers, it's going to be really rough for me. Luckily, the computer's working fine. I should be able to get Transformers. I'll try to, I don't know, maybe I'll have to do another month of the one meal and snack a day kind of thing, which is what I've been doing for a while now. I'm probably going to have to do that for another month. I've heard people have been concerned about it. I mean, it's nothing really new to me. I've been poor pretty much my entire life, so I mean, it's kind of just another day to me. But I guess if you want to help, I guess my links are in the description. I'm going to be doing Transformers for sure. They haven't really said anything about the system requirements, but it's coming out like only a year after Korra did. It's from the same team as them. They plunked that game out pretty fast. I wouldn't be surprised if they're using the same core engine, and that game ran beautifully on my PC, even with the overheating problems that I had before I took it to the repair shop earlier this month. So it looks like that's going to be a surefire bet for me. I will be doing Mushihime Sama. I don't really have too much else on the horizon right now. I am kind of limited by the fact that I don't have a PS4. The PS4 is starting to get a lot of really nice niche-based games and stuff, and I don't really have the funds for one anytime soon. I do have the gaming lounge that I could go to, and I could play stuff there. That's definitely a real possibility. Maybe if Tokiden 2 comes out, or Oni-chan Bar, or some other game like that, I could possibly play it there. And I am kind of limited by the fact that I don't have a laptop anymore. My laptop died, so that would limit how much I could do with capturing. I would use the built-in streaming, but I guess if I have to, I will. But I play so many 60 FPS games. Pretty much everything I play is 60 FPS, if not more. So I like to show the games the way that I actually see it when I'm recording the video. So we'll see what happens with that. I guess my link's in the description. I'm going to try to keep things going as long as I can. Right now that I have a working computer, that's definitely a good step in me continuing, but there are other limitations as well. My personal budget, I live on pretty much nothing, so I know some of you don't really like when I focus on games like this and indie games and stuff. A, I love these games, and B, I'm running this on a shoestring budget. I'm pretty much no different than the people who actually make those indie games. Most of those games fall into obscurity, which is really depressing, but a very real reality. There's so many indie games coming out right now, and it's really hard to get noticed. It's kind of the same thing it is on YouTube and Twitch. If you start on YouTube right now and you're a gaming channel, even if you play the most popular stuff, you're going to be in a sea of thousands of other people doing it, and that's kind of how indie games are. And I have a small but dedicated fan base on here, and I feel that I like using my little exposure that I have, the reach that I have, to help some of these guys out. I can kind of definitely relate to what they go through. Making something on a shoestring budget, not knowing if it's going to succeed. That's kind of how I've felt about 20XX. That's one of the reasons why I keep uploading footage of that game, even though no one really seems to want to watch it that much. I think that the way that they handle that game, the management and stuff, they put out an update every 2 weeks, they respond to things, bugs are always fixed as fast as possible. You may remember that one video I put up where I got the glitch where the energy armor made me invincible, and I got like the top 3 time on the speedrun leaderboards. They fixed that within hours. I'm gonna be really depressed if that game doesn't take off. The main issue is they haven't really had any big YouTubers or Twitch streamers actually play the game and stick with it. They've had some people like Man vs. Game, Caleb Hart, Cobalt Streak play it, but none of them have really stuck with it. They haven't really put it into their lineup, and I think that's what the game is really missing right now. You know, I stream it several times a week. I upload it on here, but I don't really have the reach, so I'll do my best to strike a good balance between the big titles and the smaller stuff like this in 20XX. In any case, I'll see you guys tomorrow. That's just my TGS report. I was really hoping that they would announce DMC5, but unfortunately it didn't happen. They kind of just came out and they announced some random competitive shooter in the Resident Evil franchise, which I don't really get why it exists. I mean, doesn't really seem like people liked Operation Raccoon City, but that's pretty much all they had. So all of us in the DMC community, we're going to be waiting at least another couple months before they tell us anything. Thanks for watching. Peace.